Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica with Memory Box Candle Co. and I make videos all about the journey of starting a candle business. And today's video, I am just going to be giving you some tips from personal experience on how to run an inventory-based business without losing your mind, because I am definitely somebody who is not good at organization, not good with clutter. I have a lot of issues in that regard. So if you are somebody who is like me, or if you are looking to get started with a business such as a candle business where there's going to be a lot of inventory, these are some tips that I have gathered over the last almost 3 years in business to make it a little bit easier to deal with. Tip number one is to stay physically organized. So what I mean by that is the physical space where you are keeping your candle making supplies or whatever business that has inventory for you. I recommend utilizing baskets, bins, racks, drawers, filing cabinets, whatever you need to make it to where you can organize and utilize that space to be able to find the items. Specifically, if you're a candle business and you have little smaller items like wick and wick stickers, and you need to make sure that everything is where it needs to be. And trust me, I am somebody who is not good at this at all, and I have just tried my best to utilize it to the best of my ability. I think the best thing that I have ever done in terms of physical organization is my filing cabinet. So I have my filing cabinet where I have the top drawer is all of the printed out labels for my candles or for my wax melts or anything else that I'm utilizing. And I'm able to have those readily available and printed out on top. And then the bottom of the filing cabinet has all of the blank labels. And this has been a game changer for me, because even when I, in the past, was trying to print out labels, I did have a different kind of filing cabinet, but it wasn't really. It was just something that I got off of, I think it was like Staples or something like that. And it just had a bunch of little compartments. You just sat it on a tabletop. And I think it was just supposed to hold folders, and that thing got to be a disaster in no time. But an actual filing cabinet, I need to have everything specifically organized so I know where to find it when I need it. And that is huge. You don't want to lose anything, because especially in this business, if you are paying a lot of money for your inventory and your supplies, you don't want to lose anything. You don't want to be spending all this time trying to find things. It will be way more efficient. You will be way better at time management. And I just highly recommend that you really invest in some physical items and physical things that will help you stay organized in whatever area of your house or your garage or wherever you are making your product. Tip number two may seem obvious to some, but that is to get on some sort of digital inventory software. So in the previous tip, that was more physical. Digital is getting on something like, I personally use Inventora for my business, and it just allows you to connect Shopify or whatever website you're using. So I have Shopify for my website with my inventory software. Everything connects together seamlessly. I have my materials, I have my finished items, and everything is able to be accounted for. I'm able to visually see numbers and when things get low and when I need to reorder. So getting on an actual inventory software that's digital is going to make your life so much easier, way less of a headache, and you're able to audit. So Chris and I, well, when I say Chris and I mean Chris, will go through and do an audit on everything, probably about once a week. And that's just to make sure that everything is accounted for, everything's on track, that there's no mistakes. And it's really just to help, again, with that organization, making sure that everything is accounted for and you know when you need to reorder on things. Because if you're just relying on your eyes, essentially, on everything that's around you, you can miss things, and then all of a sudden you go to grab for something and it's not there because it wasn't ordered. Tip number three is definitely something that comes when you have more experience in your business with ordering different materials and supplies that you need in order to make your items, but it has to do with items that are out of stock and kind of dealing with how much you should order and if you should stock up on something because it's usually out of stock, how soon in advance you should purchase something. There's a lot of different scenarios that are going to come up, and I still, I would say, mess up on this a lot of times, and I don't order enough of something, or I order too much of something. And again, especially with holiday releases, that can be very challenging. But with your all the time materials and items that you are using, that is something that you may have to over time learn, hey, this is a best-selling scent, so I'm going to order a 5-pound jug of this. Or this one doesn't sell as well, so I'm just gonna get maybe a 16-ounce bottle, or maybe 2 16-ounce bottles of this fragrance oil because it doesn't sell as much. So just over time, you're gonna learn a lot more about getting familiar with your suppliers. So if they are constantly out of stock on a certain item, so that when it's back in stock, you may wanna order a little bit more than what you need in that moment. It's just a matter of getting familiar with your ordering schedule, with how much you order of each material, and also getting familiar with your suppliers and their schedule with what they offer and what time of year they typically don't have a lot of things in stock, so that you need to essentially be preparing ahead of time. And tip number 4 has to do with being realistic about the space that you have in order to hold your inventory and your supplies. This is something that I don't think a lot of people think about when going into a business that requires having a lot of inventory, is it takes up a lot of space. Trust me, it takes up a lot of space. And I recommend that before you start thinking about adding all these different products on to your website, just know that all of those different physical products that you want to sell will require storage space. So this is why if you are in a smaller space, I recommend just getting started with, let's say, 1 candle size or 2 candle sizes to get started, and then move on from there if you're able to grow and have more storage space. But I also think that the storage space will basically determine how many different products and sizes and variety that you have on your website. So if you don't have a lot of space, you may only be able to do 2 candle sizes and 5 different scents, because that's all you got in the moment. And that's, I promise will make your life easier in terms of ordering. But that's also something that you have to think about, is how much space do I have? And that may dictate what kind of products and the different varieties that you offer on your website. And then the final tip is more of just a motto to live by in terms of when you run an inventory-based business, and that's, if it's not listed for sale, it can't sell. And basically what that means is, if you have items that are constantly out of stock on your website, you're never gonna make money from those. You have to keep making and putting it up on your website in order to make sales. And the more you have in stock, the higher chances of making more money. So Chris is really good about keeping up with that. I honestly have always kind of struggled with this, of if I see things are out of stock, I'm like, I'll get to it later. And Chris is like, we need this, we need this, we need this. He's doing the audits all the time, like making sure that we have all the different scents and sizes in stock all the time. And everything has been so much better on the website and because of his help. And I do recommend that you always try to keep things in stock to the best of your ability, because again, if it's not listed for sale, it can't sell. But anyways, I think I am going to end today's video right here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Feel free to leave me a comment down in the comment section below and let me know how you plan to run your inventory-based business, whatever that is, candles, soap, whatever you make that you have inventory. Let me know how you are organizing and how you keep track of everything in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave it a big thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at MemoryBoxCandleCo, and I will see you in my next video.